Do you guys remember the days when we had to wake up early, shower, get ready, pack our lunch, rush to the car or to the taxis, and then spend so much time in traffic in order to get to work on time? I remember those days, and I definitely do not miss the commute, to be completely honest. But a question I've had since the whole work from home situation started, and a question I think a lot of us have had, is are we going to get any tax deductions for this? Since we're using our own home internet, our own spaces to actually work, should we get tax deductions for that? The good news is SARS has come out and said, yes, you should get tax deductions, but you have to meet certain requirements. As always, SARS won't make it easy for us to get money out of them. So there's certain requirements that you need to meet in order to actually claim home office expenses in terms of deductions when it comes to your tax return this year. So in today's video, I'm going to be chatting about those requirements. They seem simple on the surface, but there's certain things that you really need to understand about those requirements. Before we get into it, let's put this out there. Let's put this disclaimer out there. I am not a tax professional by any measure. So all of this is literally just opinions from a random person on the internet. Please do your own research and talk to a tax professional as well before you make any decisions, right? Now, with that out of the way, let's actually get into these requirements. So the first requirement SARS needs you to meet in order for you to claim home office expenses is, one, you actually need to have been working from home. At least 50% of your work needs to have been done from home. Working from home is a given, right? But if you're splitting your time between the office and home, you need to have spent at least 50% of your working time actually working from home and not working anywhere else, right? So even if your employer allowed you to work from home and you decided that you actually preferred to work in the office and you were going into the office, you may not be able to actually claim for home office expenses because technically you're not working from home. I think that requirement is fair because, if you're going to claim for something, you should have actually been doing it or actually using it, right? And then the second requirement is a letter. And this is the letter that you get from your employer. And I think if you do work from home, probably your HR department has already sent you this letter to say that, yes, this person works at XX company and they have been working from home since this date until this date, right? So that SARS has proof that your employer has actually asked you to work from home, right? And I think this is literally a hard requirement, so you can't claim from SARS if you don't have a letter from your employer saying that you are allowed to work from home and you have in fact been working from home. And then the final requirement, which is the one that doesn't rub me the right way or the one that I don't like really or agree with, is that you can only claim if the office you've been using is exclusively an office, meaning you haven't used that space or that room for anything else. So if you were working in your lounge or working in your bedroom or any other room that wasn't just an office, you can't claim for home office expenses. And I think that's slightly unfair because a lot of people had to just adapt very quickly to the whole changing scenarios. You couldn't just, drop your house and go and get another house that allows you to have a whole room as your office. But anyway, that is the requirement. That room needs to have been used specifically and exclusively as an office or a place to do business. And I will actually leave a link to these requirements down in the description below because SARS has put together a really helpful PDF that explains these requirements and what they mean, right? So those are the three requirements. And a little tip I want to give you here when you actually want to claim for home office expenses is that you actually need to also know the square meterage of the room that you have your office in, right? So you need to know the square meterage of the room that your office is in comparison to the square meterage of your entire home. So you're going to need to like pull out some tape measure here to figure that out. And the really nice thing is once you have all of this information, you can actually go onto Tax Team. They actually have a little calculator that will help you to calculate what your potential refund from SARS could be for your home office expenses. And things that you can actually claim for include like things like your rent, utilities, wear and tear. But there are some differences between what you can claim if you are a full-time employee and if you are a contractor, because SARS looks at you in two different ways. And the PDF that I'm actually going to leave a link to down in the description below that SARS put together will give you the information that you need in terms of if you're a commission worker, or commission or contract worker, you can actually claim for these items plus this. But if you are a 9-to-5 worker or a full-time employee, you can actually claim for this list of items. But I know you can definitely claim for your rental income. You can also claim for utilities. You can claim for your wear and tear, and you can claim for cleaning and things like that. And the other requirement I almost forgot, which is actually the fourth requirement, is that room needs to be specifically equipped for you to do your work, right? So for most of us, this is a computer, monitors, printers, things like that. That room needs to have those things in that room specifically for you to actually use for your work, right? So that is an actual requirement from SARS. So you can't just claim for a room where there is no computer and things like that, where you don't actually work. So it needs to be specifically equipped for work. Again, SARS is not going to make it easy for us to get a tax refund from them, but if you do qualify, it is definitely something worth putting into your tax return so that you can get the refund that you deserve, right? If the government is going to say we're going to give you a refund based on this and you qualify, definitely go for it. But yeah, those are the requirements that SARS has come out with in terms of home office expenses, home office deductions that you can get. And I think out of a scale of 1 to 10, I think 7, they're pretty fair. It's just that I really do not agree with the whole the room that you're using as an office needs to be specifically just for your office work or for your 9-to-5, right? But it's fine, it is what it is, and those are the requirements. I hope that you understood the requirements a little bit better after this video, and also please do refer to the links in the description box down below so that you can go and read up a little bit more about what SARS actually says about these requirements and how you can go about claiming these things. And a little tidbit here, if you've made it to the end of the video, a little note is that when you're actually filing your taxes, you have to file this under other. There's no specific space for home office deductions currently, so you have to file it under other, if I am not mistaken. But yeah guys, please do remember that I am not a tax professional by any measure, so if you do need advice, please do approach a registered tax professional who can actually give you professional advice tailored to your own specific situation. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much, and I will chat to you next week. Bye.